This is a beginner's guide for Uma Musume Pretty Derby. I'm going to show you everything you need to know to get started in this game, how to get higher ranks, how to get sparks, what like the long-term outlook is of how to play, how to get your carrots daily so you can get more characters and stuff, scouts, and everything you need to know in order to succeed in this game. So obviously, here's the home screen. You know, you have your TP, which you use in order to actually do career mode. It's 30 each time, refreshes over time. You can also use your carrots in order to get more so you can keep on going if you use it all up. You also have items in your inventory. There's the toughness that you end up getting from various things, dailies and different stuff. You can restore it with that. There's carrot jelly minis, which are for restoring the blue one, which is for the team trials, which we'll get to in a second. Alarm clocks are amazing. Take them anytime you get a chance to buy these things because it lets you like try again when you lose in career, which is nice when you said you're going to get first place and then it gives you 16th place for no reason and stuff. And then all these other type of items here are used for different races outside of career mode. So the game basically consists of using these energy up here in order to do career mode and in order to do team trials. The basic like flow of the game is you're doing career mode with the characters you unlock in order to get higher legacy versions, which we'll get to in a second, so that you can use those in your team trials to get a higher rank in team trials and slowly rank up in team trials. So really the actual game kind of revolves around the end goal of the team trials, but realistically the game loop is going to be you doing career mode and over again, which kind of feels like doing a randomizer on another type of game like Pokemon or something. It's like that kind of vibe the way this game works. So here at the bottom right, there's scouting, scouts or whatever. You use these, I just call them carrots. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce them. You use those in order to get more Uma Musumes and in order to get support cards. And there's also other deals and different things that'll be in here throughout the, you know, the weeks, days, months, and stuff like that based on events and different things. There's also these ones where you can get one guaranteed rare card if you pay with paid carrots instead. If you actually buy them, there's like bonuses for that if you want to spend real life money. But free to play, the game's pretty forgiving free to play, so it's not a big deal. If you just play long enough, you eventually get everything. So the big thing to know about this before anything else in this beginner's guide that you guys really got to know about before you spend those carrots, man, do not make the mistake I made. You obviously you want to buy some Uma Musumes with the scout pulls right here, and you always want to save up for 10, so that way you can get the bonus and get the guaranteed 2-star and above. Just make it so you know it's better long term. You get more out of it. But you only want to do in the very beginning if you're like brand new. You only want to do a few pulls of this. And then the rest of all the carrots that you get, you want to spend them on support cards. The game actually revolves around support cards. So the way the game works is you go to career mode, and in career mode, you use the trainees. That's like the stories, right? So when you do these trainees in the career mode, each one has its own setup, right? Like this one, Haru Urara, she is good at sprints, and her whole career, you can check career info here, all her races are sprint. You can see here, she has like a mile, but then it's like mostly just, maybe it's not only sprints for her, but she sprints in miles, basically. She's all short races, except for this one, where she doesn't actually have to place in. She can actually just run whatever. And then this one in particular, Sakura Bakush, and she's definitely all sprints, right? And then you have other ones that are like long, and so you'll have ones, I'm trying to remember who it was, like her, Super Creek, and medium and long stuff, right? So you're getting the trainees just so that you can play career mode and do all the scenarios and stuff, but you don't need all the trainees in the beginning. What you need is the scout cards, because the scout cards determine whether or not you can A, beat career mode, and B, get high ranks. If you want to get A rank or eventually S rank, that's going to revolve around scout cards primarily. Scout cards and sparks, which is something we'll get to in a second. So you can always check down here in the enhanced tab, your trainees. You can see them. You can increase their potential levels and star unlocks, like which we'll talk about in a second. But the support cards over here, like I was saying, you level them up. And what you do is playing the game and different things, you'll end up getting, let me find a little one here, these support points, and you'll also get monies, and you use these in order to level them up, and they'll have all these skills and things. Well, these skills are extremely important when you do career mode. So if there's one takeaway from this beginner's guide, it's to look at these and focus on a few things here. So my personal opinion is that friendship bonus is massive. You want friendship bonus, mood effect, and you want initial friendship gauge, and you want specialty priority. Those are your most important things. And then fan bonus would probably be after that, because it can save you turns. The whole game is basically about how can you save turns and get more stats per turn. That's career mode in a nutshell, basically. It's a strategy game, basically. So what friendship bonus does is it makes it so if this card is high enough affinity during career mode, which I'll show you in a minute, then you'll get bonus training if they're of the same types. This one's like wit, and if you're doing wit training and this one's your friend and it's in wit training, you'll get this 25% bonus to the stats you get. Mood effect, 30% is not the way you would think. So in this game, there's mood, which is awful, bad, and normal, good, and great. Or was it awful and bad? I don't remember. There's awful and then a worse one, I think. But anyway, so with those, what it does is, like, we'll go up. So normal is just normal, and then if you go to good, then great. Good gives you 10% more stats when you train. Great gives you 20% more. Mood effect affects that. So say you're in a great mood and you have 20% more stat gain. This 30% is on to the 20. So whatever 30% of 20 is like 6 or something. So say you have plus 20 for being in a great mood. This will change that to 26% stat gain from being in a good mood. So that's actually your best way to get stats. Friendship bonus plus mood effect is like massive. It's really massive. Mood effect's better than friendship bonus even, because if they have mood effect and this one's on like a power training, you'll still get the mood effect, but the friendship bonus you won't get no matter what. So this can actually have more effect than the friendship bonus. So that's like a #1 stat than friendship bonus. And then friendship gauge just so you get it faster, which I'll explain all that when we get to career mode more. Then specialty priority is huge because that increases the odds. Like say this one's wit, specialty priority makes it more often that it'll show up on the wit one, and then you'll be able to get your bonus training for the wit. It has to be the same as the one that it is in order to get bonus training. And I know this is all like a lot at once if you're brand new, but you'll understand more as we get through more into this career mode and I show it visually, okay? Trainee, these are the trainees. They have potential levels, so you can level them up using items that you get from winning races in the career mode. And those don't increase stats or anything. I'm pretty sure instead what they do is they unlock these abilities, so that way they get these abilities every single time you run them, which can be really helpful for some of them. Some of them they're not so helpful, but like this one, for example, Gormand is really nice because this character has to run some long races, and so then you don't have to get as much stamina because instead you can just spend skill points on this Gormand skill instead. So things like that. So you know, it's something to work towards. Someday you'll eventually have them all level up to level 4 if you level 5 if you play the game for years, but you know, you gotta pick and choose in the beginning. Then they have star unlock, which is really important because it increases their stats. So like if I took this to level 5, it doesn't make a huge difference, honestly, but it does increase their stats. And every little stat you can get matters when trying to get A and S rank later on with legacies, which we'll talk about. So you get star pieces. This is if you roll this character. Again, you get star pieces. You can also get them from the races. There's race events that happen every day that you can do. And if you have a good enough character, you can race against this thing in the week. Every day or whatever, and you can get rewards for. So this character, special week, was the actual character, and if I raced against a person and won, then I got the star pieces for that character. So just do those every day. Eventually you'll get star pieces from that way. And then there's other ways like story things and other random things here and there that you'll get maybe from events and stuff. There's also shop. If you go to the home page and go to shop, there's this tab in the shop, the daily sales, and this will pop up when you do random races from the races tab. It'll be like, oh, there's a sale in the shop, and it'll have like 2 different pieces, one different character each, and you can slowly get them that way, 6 pieces per day from random characters, so you can slowly collect them, and it's just a long-term thing to look out for. It's really not necessary in the beginning. It's only for people who are playing for years, and you're trying to just max out everything and get everything done, basically, and get everything to max level. So those are the cards. Yeah, support, like I said, support's more important. Trainees just so you can do the events and have your favorite scenarios to run through. And then real quick, there's a story tab. This one's pretty simple. As you play the game, you just unlock more of this stuff. And all you gotta do is you gotta go in here and click these people and then watch the stories from the top, and you'll get more like one-time carrots so you can get more stuff. So just be sure to go in there and watch all those that are new in order to get more of those. And that's it for the story tab for now. There's another tab they're gonna add later on, but they haven't added that yet. And then there's all the stuff on the right. If you're on mobile, you'll have to obviously like open the actual menu to get to this. But yeah, I already showed the inventory where you can just see all your items. There's all the ones you actually use, but then there's upgrade items. You can just see how many you have, but those are used in the enhanced tab. And then tickets, if you get these, you can they're here, but you actually go to the scout area to use them to get like free pulls and things. And then other is just your currencies, which we'll go to the shop, in a little bit. And then another thing is there's the archive. This is massive. As you play the game, it'll level up your archive, which will get you archive level ups, which will get you carrots. So you can get more that way over time by playing. So just check that every so often to get more. Another really important tab, probably one of the most important tabs, is the friends tab. This tab is really, really important. So in here, you have people you're following. So what you can do is you go to recommended, and you go in here and you look for a card to finish out your roster. So each career you can take in 6 cards, but the 6th card always has to be from somebody that you're following or a random person if you aren't following anybody. And so you can go in here and go to the recommended tab, and you can look through here and you can click these and then you can click the card and be like, oh, it's a level 50 of special week. Okay, whatever, and you see what it does. And so like say I was like, I need a wit card. Like I really like I have this set up, but I only have 2 good wit cards because I don't have all the cards unlocked in the game yet. But like, okay, well my last wit card, I have all my other cards are good, but I want 3 wit cards in my deck, and the third one sucks. I don't have a good third one, so let me go in here and find a good third one. So say like this one, and here's Fine Motion, and this one's a wit card, and I found a level 35 one. Okay, cool. This is the card I want. Once you find that, you'll follow them, and once you follow them, they'll be in the following tab, and then you can just pick from these cards anytime you do career mode. So I can show this in career mode real fast. We go to career mode. Takes a second to load every time we get here, but we go to career mode, and we'll pick a character. I'll just auto-select. We'll get to that in a second. I just want to show the one thing. So here's the cards. Right, here's that friend card. You go in here, and you can then pick the card. So, like, I had that card right here, level 35 Fine Motion. I'm following. You see all the cards I'm following. And that's how you can, fill out your deck with something really good. It's really OP. You really need to do that. You can literally just cycle through them. So, let me go back to the home, go to the friends. There's a refresh button, and you can literally just sit here and refresh, and then, click one, and then click on his thing and see it, look at all the stats, and be like, oh, specialty priority 46, blah, blah, blah. Look through all the things. Okay, find the ones you want to follow. Just refresh, scroll, refresh, scroll, and just keep looking for new ones. Look for what you want, because some of them are insane. Like, there's some cards that have so much specialty priority. Like, if you go to my support cards here, there's a card in here. I think it's this person. Yeah, it's Seun Sky. And she has specialty priority 50 at level 30. So if I can ever get the level 50 for this character, it's going to be insane, because that levels up as I level up. And then, because basically what happens with specialty priority for this guy, for this girl, is then like half of the time that I'm training, she's on the stamina training. So anytime I want to train stamina, I can get bonus stamina like every time. It's a really important stuff. So you can go through there until you find like one of the best cards in the game that you don't have. And it can take you forever, but eventually you can find it, and then you follow it, and then your 6th card can always be some insane card that you're probably not going to have for like another 3 to 6 months of playing the game, and you can always round your deck out with that. So that's like a little trick early game to make everything way better. Like, do that. It's super, super important. Do not sleep on that. Super, super important. Also, over here, the special missions and gifts. This is where you collect your stuff. Pretty straightforward. You gotta collect any rewards. You got special missions. You go in here, and you'll collect all to collect different things. You can see your missions like win 40 G2 races in career, and you go through it. You can go for these if you want, or you just get them naturally from playing. It's up to you. If you really want to get more carrots, you can try to rush them. And then the other big thing here, before we get into career mode, there's one last thing, and then career mode, and then we're pretty much got you up to speed here in the beginner's guide. So the veteran Uma Musumes, all right? So in here we have a list. This is all the characters. Oh, I have a filter on. You have filters, by the way, which is also something I'll teach you in a second, if you didn't already understand just from looking at that. I must still have a filter on. Hold on. Yes, speed. There we go. Okay, so this is like all the Uma Musumes that you've played career mode with. Even if you don't beat the career mode, you get a legacy, okay? And this ties into the spark system, which is like really important, and it's one of the things that you have control over in this game, okay? So, well, you have control over for like progressing your game faster. So you can go in here and you can click on the different ones, and you can see inspiration, and you can see all this stuff, which is going to be extremely confusing when you're new. The stamina, late surger, triumphant, the stars, and all this stuff. Okay, so what happens is each of these characters, when you go to start a game, so we go to career mode, and we go to next, then we pick a character, legacies. Okay, so like say this character, say she wants to do medium and long, so she's going to have all long races and medium races, and she does turf, and her best run style is late, but we could get pace to be usable because it's dead beat. So what we do here is say I want her to be able to run pace. I can go in here, I can set a filter for pace, so all my cards that have pace sparks. So like say this one, okay, I'll confirm, I'll look, and I can see over here, this card is power 1, pace chaser 2, and then these ones have other ones. So what you're looking at here on the right is, people call it, like for shorthand, you call it parent and grandparent. So this was the most recent one, and then when that card did its career mode, those two were the ones that it was using as its legacies, okay? So you get like 6 characters basically that can affect your current character and get bonuses. So just by putting this on, we'll start the game with 5 additional speed, 10 additional power, and then as the career goes on, there's 2 points in, I think, January or February or March, I can't remember which one, in the career mode, where then you get your you get bonuses from these. They like actually kick in finally during the career mode, and then you'll get effect towards pace chaser and mile or additional or whatever, and you get extra stats and stuff. So what you try to do here with this whole system and the sparks and the legacy and stuff is you're trying to build for things. So like say I want to build speed. So what I would do is I've already played a bunch. So I'll go in here and oh, sorry, wrong thing here. I need to reset this. Okay. Go into here and then set the filter to speed. Okay. So we'll look at all my speed ones and then go, okay, do I have any speed that are 3 stars? Which I actually do have some speeds that are 3 stars. Kind of crazy. So like say this girl, for example, this is one of my good ones. I actually worked to get this one. I have Hara Araru, I think it was, and she has speed 2, sprint 3, and then her parent, so the grandparent if I use her, was, I can't remember, something Cap, Ugari Cap or something, and she had speed 2 and late surger 3, and then her other parent had power 2 and whatever. So like I have 2 of these that are speeds. This isn't ideal, but hey, you know what? It's a good start when you're early on in the game. So what we do is, okay, these 2 have speed. Like, this is already kind of a built one, but like say I wanted to build speed. Like, okay, the parent is speed. Well, then this character that I'm using now, when I play the career mode, I will level up my speed and hope that if you get your speed above 600, you have a higher chance of getting a high speed if you roll it. Like, this is starting to get out of hand trying to explain this. The Spark System needs its own video, guys. This sucks. It's really bad explaining this. So like, but you level these up, and there's a 1 in 6 chance, because like at the end of the career mode, you'll get these random rolls. So like that speed that this character got at the end of her legacy was a 1 in 6 chance. And she rolled speed. And if you get the roll on speed, and you have a lot of speed on your character at the end of the career, then you have a higher chance of getting 2 or 3 stars on the speed. And then that builds out a good card. So like say what I would do is, that I got 2 speed on that. That's good early game, but late game, you'd be like, okay, I would run her career like over and over and over again, just training speed as my main thing until someday I get a 3-star speed on that character. Then I would use that as a base while training another character that also is going to train speed until I get it to where, you know, the grandparent and another one has speed. Or you want to get 2 different ones that have 3 speed so they can have, like, you know, both parents be speed, and then the third one gets speed. Then when I put it on like this, I have speed, 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 and they're all speed, and then I get this huge bonus to speed. So like, it's really complicated, but like the long term, like playing month over month, you're slowly trying to refine specialty sparks. And that's like the long term flow of the game loop basically. And it's really complicated, and I'm going to make a whole nother video for sparks because I just don't have enough time to explain. We're already like so deep into this video. This video is way too long, okay? But I wanted to get you into the idea of what's going on here, and that helps you in the career mode. Like say this one, look at speed. I start with plus 24, and then when I get the events, I'm going to get even more. I might get like plus 50 speed. The other thing, quick thing to know here is there's the affinity. So this one, you have to learn trial and error. There's also a calculator online that you can find that has like which characters are compatible. So like some characters are more compatible with some than others. So let me take all the filters off. And so if I go in here, I can say like, click this character. You can see the affinity triangle. That's bad. We can go through here. Oh, there's a circle. Okay. Either this character and or her parents or grandparents here, basically, they all add points. So what happens is like there's hidden value. So like say this character might add plus 20, this one's plus 2, and this one's plus 17. And then I over here and I add some others and say this one has, you know, plus 3, plus 10, and plus 15. And all those secret values add up to give you an affinity. And there's a circle affinity and a double circle affinity. And if you get the circle affinity, it makes you just all the stat gains from like inside the game, like when you get the event inside the game that gives you more stats, you'll get additional stats. And if you get the double circle, you'll get even more stats. So on top of everything I just explained, there's another layer of trainee compatibility. So that's a whole other thing, trial and error, that you'll have to look out for if you keep playing the game longer. But this is a beginner's guide. That's like ultra advanced guide. So let's save that for another day. But you get the idea. You can learn that on your own or away from other videos or go look at other people's videos. But that's not beginner. That's long-term play there, thinking that way, okay? The other thing about legacies is those veteran Musume list. Okay, here's all the veterans and the runs you've done and stuff. When you get good ones like this one, for example, like, you know, I had basically 1200 speed and all this. That's not even a good one. Actually, a good one was this one. I had 1100 speed, 600 stamina, 600 power. These legacies are super good for the races over here. So in the races, you know, if there's an event, you can do this 3 times a day. I've already done mine 3 times a day. You use your legacies for these events. So I have that super good legacy that always wins races, basically. And I would just use that to beat a lot of these. For example, if it's a track that's compatible, that one sucks for sprints. So if it's a sprint, I can't use that one. But, you know, you got to use those legacies for these races, okay? There's daily races. You can just get money and SP from that. First time you do it, you get carrots and things. And then there's the team trials, which in the team trials, you edit your team, and with those legacies you build, you add them onto here, and you slowly build up a better and better team and get your rank up, which also gets you carrots. And then you can participate in team races, which will also get you rewards and rank you up and do different things. So you definitely want to do those. That's what the blue bars are for, and you want to use those every day just because you might as well. It takes 2 hours to charge each one, so just get on twice a day and just do a bunch of team trials and stuff just to, you know, get more stuff done and get more points, get more carrots here and there and stuff. Okay, so that's all the menus in the games and stuff. The last thing is to take a look at an actual career mode and just really quick explain how all this works, and then I think we got you up to speed here. So let's pick one of my favorite ones is Sakura Bakushin. So like she is sprinter. Like you can say all her A for sprint, B for mile. You can already cue in that all her races are going to be sprints or miles. You can double check it with this career info button, and you can go through here and be like, okay, that's a sprint, that's a mile, that's a sprint, and then that's a sprint, and you can go through and you can just see all that like that. So you can get an idea of what you're up against. And then you can also see in details, very important details, each character has growth rate bonuses. So Sakura Bakushin, she gets plus 20% to all speed gains during her career and 10% to all wit gains. So not all characters will you take this into consideration, but some characters you may want to take that into consideration when doing the career mode and picking your support cards and things like that. So that's something, you know, nice to think about. So say for sprinting, all you need is speed, power, and I don't know, wit and guts helps if you get it, but the main thing is speed and power, and just a teeny bit of stamina are your most important things for a sprinter. So we'd go in here, and what I would do is speed's like the most important stat in the game. So we're just going to go in here and say, hey, let's just get speed. So let's get some speed, and then let's put on a filter for 2-star, 2-star, and then speed. And look in there. The other thing you want to look for, though, instead of speed, is you can also see these styles. This is like how you run the races, which you probably already know if you played it all, but I'll show you in the career mode maybe. You go in here, and you can actually get these to S, and that's very important for winning races. But you can only do that with these legacies. So I could instead go to the filters, and I say I want to for sprints, or I can do it for the actual type, which was front running. So running in the front. I only have one card that's compatible here that has anything for front runner, and it's only a 1-star. So that's probably not going to work for me. So instead, we'll reset this, and we'll go for, what was the other one? Pace. Okay, so go to filter, go to pace, and then here's all my ones that have pace bonuses. Okay, cool. Let's get one that has 2-star of like anything, and then let's see if any of them have speed while we're at it. Speed. Okay, a lot of them do. Let's look at this one, for example. And I don't even know where the speed was, so I'm not sure that filter even counted. But if I look through these, though, I can try to find one that has good stats for whatever I want. And I honestly am not even sure. Okay, here's speed 2. Speed 2, power 1. Like, this isn't even ideal, but you would go through and try to figure out your best ones for each scenario and what you like and stuff. This did not have a good affinity. So, I mean, I could sit here for 10 minutes. I've sat here for 30 minutes before just looking through all my legacies and picking and choosing. So it's up to you how hard you want to strategize. But I need to get through this video. So let's just call it here and pick something else here too that's also going to have the Pace Chaser. Well, these are not good cards. I have better ones, but I don't have time to look. But you would look and find them. And what happens is during the career, when the event happens to give you more stuff, then you'll get your pace will become S tier. And then as long as you run the pace format when in the races, then you will be able to win races better. So that's really important. And then also you get all these stats. So, you know, you got to pick and choose and figure it all out. Then you pick your support deck. You have all these different decks you can set ahead of time over in the enhanced section. But let's say for this one, it was I needed power and speed, which I have this deck specifically for. These are my best speed cards and my best power cards. Now, some people like to do 1 wit, 2 of something, and 3 speed. I personally don't like that strategy. I've tried that, and it just never seems to work out for me. Maybe I was unlucky. So instead, I either go 3 and 3, or I go 2 and 4. So in this case, I would say, like, I'm just going to go 4 and 2 and try to get 1,200 speed by the end of the run is what I would do. And then we hit start career. And I don't have enough TP right now because I've used too much, so it opens up the menu. You can use carrots, or you can use the toughness potions if you have them. So I'm just going to use the toughness. I always use the carrots last if I'm completely out of the one. And then we can start career, and you've already done this part. Now you're in the career. So I always shorten all event, put skip on 2 and confirm, get through everything. So there's only a few things I need to teach you about career, and you're ready to go, guys. So in career, there's, okay, skill points, there's stats, so you got to train and stuff. So what happens here is from races and from training, you get skill points so you can buy skills. They'll say what they're applicable to. So like if I get a skill for sprint and the race is not a sprint, I'm pretty sure this skill cannot activate. So you need to know what races your character is going to do and only buy the skills that matter. So this character does do sprints, so I would buy sprint. But I actually all the ones I have right now I can use. But if I had one that was like an end chaser, I don't do end chaser in the races, so I literally don't buy the skill because it's pointless. So you're just gonna look for things that help you out, like slightly increasing fatigue for front runners mid-race. That's good. Increased accelerations, well positioned on the final corner. That's great. Triumphant pulse. That's great. Like, you know, you pick and choose those as you play. You rest to get energy back, which we're at full at the start. Doesn't matter. Really important stuff here. Recreation will get your mood up, and if you have good support cards with good mood effect, you want to keep your mood up. It's worth losing a turn to get mood up, but there's mood up gets in 3 ways from recreation. There's mood +1, there's mood +1 and give energy back, and then there's mood +2 with no energy. Those are the 3 things that'll happen if you do recreation. So like you can do recreation at a full bar, but ideally if you're min-maxing, if you can help it, you want to be missing part of your energy before you do recreation in case it gives you the one that gives you energy back. Career is literally a never-ending game of min-maxing everything you can in a turn, basically. Everything you can in a season, everything. So the main thing you're going to be doing is going to training. Now, this is really important if you don't know this. So there's 5 different things, and when you go through here, on some of them, you'll see the characters up here, your support cards here. So this session right here, this is whatever the heck season this is. It doesn't even tell me. You know, each turn, they'll be randomly assigned just randomly to these. Now, again, if they have this, like I said earlier, they have the specialty priority. Like this one has specialty priority 35. It's a strength one. That makes it more likely to appear on the power training, but it's still not guaranteed at all. It's like maybe like a 1 in 5 chance at 35 or something like that, it seems like. So the early game literally just consists of you trying to find training sessions that have as many characters on here as possible. So like say, and then you're also trying to weigh that against what skills do I want, what stats do I want, I mean. So this character, I want speed and power, but I do want like a little bit of stamina. You can't get by on 50 stamina on a mile race. You're gonna lose. So like, even though I have no stamina cards, while I'm training my trainees, this is my chance to be able to get some stamina. So like, okay, I have 2 for guts and 2 for power. I said the power, 2 for power, 2 for guts. So which one do I train? Well, I really need some stamina. Power gets some stamina. I'm going to do power because I'm not going to get a lot of chances to get stamina, so I'll take whatever I can get when I can get it. All right, so then we go to train again, and at most there's 2 on each one. There's nothing crazy. Now that I'm missing some energy, I'm going to do recreation because I want that mood boost so I can gain stats faster. He's also got the 20 energy there as well. And then there's these random events, and this is trial and error. You play the game long enough, you'll eventually memorize all these events, and you'll know what each one gives you. Okay, so I did that one. It gave guts. You might have one. It gives energy back. The most important thing is you can memorize all the ones that give you energy back because that'll get you more turns. Energy is the most important thing from those events for the events that have it as an option. But that's trial and error. You have to memorize all those events over time. It takes a long time. You just play and you eventually know them all. Okay, and what they all do. Okay, so now I'm in good mood. I'd like to be in great mood. There's no good training. The best I can get is 1 person on each one. So I'm going to do recreation again because I really want to be in great mood. Great mood allows me to get way more stats when I train. And then in those events, this one's going to give me free speed. Okay, I got some speed, some friendship. Those events can also give friendship. So now we go in here. This one has 3, although one of them is just the director Akikawa. So that one's not as important, but we're going to do that. Speaking of which, these other characters, this and something, not Nisha or some, whatever her name was. These ones, you get them up over time, they will give you bonus stats at the end of the game. So they're not as important. The main one is these ones, so you get that friendship bonus. And then once you get friendship bonus, they'll pair with, when they're paired with the right one. So say this one's a speed one and she's on speed, it'll be glowing rainbow once her bar is all the way full and she's on speed, and then you get bonus stats. Instead of getting 18, I'd get like 22 or 24 from doing this because of friendship bonus. So that's that in a nutshell. I don't really need to like get to it and show it and stuff. And then there's races down here, and I can't do it till after the junior debut, but you go there and you skip through all the races and you can see what's coming up and you can plan everything accordingly. And the final note here really is you're just trying to min-max as much as you can. Like, so if in here I don't have any in this character's career, but if it's like, oh, I need 1,000 more fans, like say down here you need 1,750 fans, which this character doesn't run into that issue, but some of them you'll have goals that'll literally be get 12,000 fans. What you'll try to do is like, say you have a training session week where like all these have just 1 person on it. There's nothing good to train and you need fans. that's your turn to go do an optional race to get those fans, right? That's because their training's not optimal. You're not going to get great training. So go do your race and get that out of the way on a turn like that. Or that's your turn to rest to get your stamina back. Or if you don't know what to do and there's nothing else, you can do wit, which will give you a little bit of stamina, but also give you wit and speed, okay? And so, you know, you got to make all those choices and try to min-max that, and that's just trial and error. And I'll probably make more videos on that. This video is like 30 minutes long. Nobody's even going to watch this video because I made it way too long. I do this all the time. I make these videos way too long, but if you want to know everything, it was going to explain it, hopefully. And then I guess the last thing is stats. Speed makes you run faster. This is a TLDR version. Speed makes you run faster. Stamina makes it so that you can run longer. Basically, you just need to have a baseline amount of stamina, or else suddenly you lose all your speed and you lose the race, come in last place. Power makes it so when you can pass people easier. It basically gives you a speed boost when you get near someone, so instead of getting stuck behind them, when you get near them, it just makes you shoot past them instead. It also affects your acceleration. Guts makes it so for the last like 200 to 400 meters of the race, if you're out of stamina, you'll keep going anyway. And I think it might make you go faster. I'm not 100%, but it helps with that last 400 meters of the race or something like that. And then wit, it basically makes your character use their skills more often, and it makes your character less likely to rush, which wastes their stamina. And I think it makes your character more consistent with how they run, so they burn through their stamina slower. That last part might be complete, just like made up, though. Just what it seems like from doing it, but it could be not true. And then speed, back to speed, is not what you think it is. The game has you stay in your place. Like, so if you're a pace chaser, you're going to stay in the second group, and you're not going to try to take first place until the end of the race. And so speed is not really going to change your speed very much during the race, but then at the end, when it's time to change position, speed determines how fast is your maximum speed when your character actually goes for their full final sprint at the end of the race. So they're trying to catch up, if there's in the front, whatever, like the end is when speed really, like, speed is your maximum speed for regaining or moving on to whatever the next position is you're supposed to be on the race based on the race cycle. So it's not just raw, I run faster. It's based on the timing and what position you're in, pace chaser versus end chaser, whatever, and all that. So it's a little more nuanced than that. And that's everything. So I don't think I missed anything. That was a lot. This video is way too long, but I hope it helped you out, guys. I made a beginner's guide. That covers everything. If you have any questions, leave comments, and hopefully I'll remember to read them and answer something maybe. But yeah, hopefully helped you out, guys. This has been my beginner's guide for Uma Musume Pretty Derby. Hopefully now you have a better idea of how to play the game and how to do better and how to get everything started. And I'm going to make other guides that are more detailed for the other things because this is way too much to make in one video. So hopefully that helped you out, guys. This has been my beginner's guide for Uma Musume.